Thank you for the kind introduction, Madeline. It's an honor to join you all, virtually of course, at the India Mobile Congress 2020. I'm grateful for the chance to address this session in particular, which focuses on what I call broadcast internet services. Along with the speakers that will join for the panel discussion, we're going to talk about the new broadcast transmission standard known as ATSC 3.0 and how it can support the delivery of 5G or high-speed internet services in India and around the world. I'm glad to see that my FCC colleague, Chairman Pai, is also on the agenda for this conference. As some of you probably know, he recently announced that he'll be leaving the FCC in just a few weeks. So I want to express my thanks and really appreciation to him for his remarkable run at the helm of the FCC. He'll leave behind a legacy that is unmatched, I think, in the history of the FCC in terms of his effective and consequential leadership. Chairman Pai has also played a key role in further deepening the strong bond of friendship that exists between the U.S. and India. He worked to further cement that relationship early on in his time at the FCC. In 2017, he signed a letter of intent between the FCC and the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. Since then, that's paved the way for an incredible collaboration and information exchange on a wide array of issues, such as spectrum management, internet build-outs, and consumer protection. From bilateral meetings to video conferences to written communications, our working relationship has led to no less than 20 engagements. I'm honored to join in deepening those ties at this conference today. And while I'm pleased to address you remotely and with my one-year-old who is joining for this session, I very much look forward to visiting India in person with or without my little guy, and furthering the special relationship that exists between the world's oldest and largest democracies. Turning to the topic of today's session, I think it's safe to say that terrestrial broadcasting in India is at a pivotal point in time. With the ongoing digital transition and historically underutilized broadcast spectrum, India has an opportunity to take a giant leap forward and embrace the cutting edge of broadcast technology, which we call ATSC 3.0. This very admittedly technical sounding term is the latest internationally recognized broadcast transmission standard. And because it's an IP-based standard that's aligned with 3GPP specifications, it's ready-made for the evolving wireless landscape. This new technology presents a terrific opportunity for broadcasters to enhance their traditional over-the-air services while simultaneously offering next-gen wireless services such as 5G broadcasting. With India's mobile-first society and its explosive growth in consumption of mobile video, India's traditional mobile networks must add capacity. Indeed, India is expected to grow to more than 850 million wireless users, which will put an incredible strain on the existing capacity as video content is streamed to more and more devices, and in particular smartphones. Now, this is where India's powerful but underutilized broadcast spectrum, enhanced by 3.0, can be put to work to meet the exploding demand for high-speed services. While 5G deployment is essential, broadcast spectrum can play a key role in relieving congestion created by the surge in demand for mobile video. It's therefore critical that regulators identify the appropriate regulatory environment to enable this efficient, high-capacity spectrum to get into the marketplace quickly. So with your indulgence, I'd like to share with you my perspective on how broadcast airwaves are ideally suited to help address India's growing need for wireless capacity. Now, the FCC and Indian regulators can work together to support this transition to 3.0. So this new technology represents the most significant upgrade in the broadcast airwaves really since the 1980s. This dynamic new standard will enable a wide range of next-gen TV applications such as Ultra HD, a more interactive TV experience. But those exciting TV applications really only tell part of the story. For the last couple of years, I've been drawing attention to an entirely different set of 3.0 applications. I suggested that we should think about this technology as a new and competitive broadband pipe. After all, the technology can allow broadcasters to stream a 25 megabit per second data stream. So I've come to refer to these suite of applications as broadcast internet services. It's a term that I think captures even more of the innovative applications that are on the horizon. These new services, no matter what you call them, are part of a broader trend we're seeing in communications. From innovative 5G offerings to high-speed fixed services, providers from previously distinct sectors are competing like never before to offer high-speed services through a mix of different technologies. 3.0 is the technology that will allow broadcast spectrum to play an even greater role in the converged market for connectivity. As our networks continue to mature, they're not always going to rely on the same spectrum bands or even the same technologies for inbound and outbound data paths. Instead, hybrid networks will look for the most efficient and cost-effective way to deliver content to users. And this is where broadcast spectrum can leverage its inherent strengths. Those strengths include wide area coverage over low-band spectrum and an efficient one-to-many architecture. Indeed, this spectrum is particularly well-suited to bringing advanced wireless services to typically unserved rural and remote communities. For 5G, it could help augment coverage or add capacity by shifting data off cellular networks in an efficient and cost-effective manner. While the demand for mobile video is growing throughout the world, this trend is particularly acute in India. So it's no surprise that stakeholders in India are already exploring ways to utilize 3.0 to enhance capacity and reduce network congestion. In fact, Indian companies, often in collaboration with US partners, are playing a leading role in developing the mobile technology that will seamlessly merge broadcast spectrum into next-gen wireless ecosystem. And the vision for ATSC 3.0 doesn't stop there. Take autonomous vehicles. Broadcast spectrum could be used to send out targeted map and traffic data or provide large fleet-wide software updates quickly and efficiently. For IoT, smart ag, and telemedicine, broadcast TV's low-band spectrum could provide an efficient means of communicating with devices over wide areas. And now, as seemingly every part of our lives migrates online as a result of COVID-19, this spectrum can be used to deliver lessons to children attending school virtually, provide job training materials for those whose livelihoods may have vanished, or when combined with other spectrum, provide connectivity to those who can't connect today. In the US, we've been doing our part to facilitate the transition to 3.0. We authorized broadcasters to transition voluntarily to this technology in 2017. And since then, we've worked collaboratively with broadcasters to address many of the technical and licensing issues that have come up. And we're working right now to resolve a proceeding to expand the use of single frequency networks. It's an architecture that is similar to cellular that will ultimately help 3.0 reach its full potential. More recently, we kicked off our broadcast internet proceeding to further unlock the potential of this spectrum, empower innovation, and create significant value for broadcasters and the American public alike. We've taken significant steps to ensure that broadcast internet services are not weighed down by outdated legacy media regulations that might otherwise frustrate its deployment. Overall, the Commission's approach in the US is working. Broadcasters are making great progress in their next-gen TV offerings, and many are already exploring ways to offer advanced datacasting services. We believe it's critical to identify and remove the overhang of unnecessary government regulation that would otherwise hold back the introduction and growth of these new competitive offerings. The time for us to start thinking about those possibilities is now, which is why this session in particular is so important. Finally, while I've been happy to share some of our experiences in the US with you, I'm also eager to hear about the approach India is taking, learn more about it, and help ensure that this important technology is able to flourish. While the ATSC 3.0 standard is international, the challenges faced by each country will vary. And as regulators, we must therefore remain flexible and willing to learn. Importantly, we must continue to support private sector collaborations between stakeholders in the US and India. These innovations are helping to drive the transition and are critical to unlocking 3.0's full potential. So thank you again for inviting me to speak today. Thank you.